Class. This is Professor Papia Bernstein, and I am making this video for those of you taking the summer session of organization of speech and hearing programs in the schools, and it's SPV 429, and it might also be the graduate version of the course, 430. So the purpose of this is to review all of the documents because this is a very fast-moving course. It will take place over the course of a month. So the first document, and these are all on Blackboard under course documents. This is this is an online course. The first document is the syllabus, and it will be called the syllabus. And on this document, I put a lot of the mandatory information in here that, according to the department, has to be on, and according to ASHA. So you have the course goals and objectives, the student learning outcomes, the required textbook, which is called The Practitioner's Path in Speech-Language Pathology, and it's a very new book. It was actually published at the end of 2017, but it has a publication date of 2018. I'm very excited about it. I've gotten some very, very good feedback from students. The recommended readings are all listed on Blackboard. We'll talk more about that. You have separate documents for everything, which we're going to go through. And the usual information is on here, which I don't really have to talk about in detail. The second document that I will talk about is the orientation, and that is the course orientation that I put together specifically about the summer session, the online version of this course. I talk with you about the fact that the course is divided into 5 segments. The purpose of the course orientation is going to help you, along with this videotape, to understand how to maneuver through the course and how to find out which pieces go with which pieces. So the course has 5 segments, and each segment has a timeline. Basically, each segment is approximately 5 days. Because that's really all that we can give it. And the requirements for each segment are stated very clearly on the corresponding documents. So there are numerous components, numerous documents such as assignments, journals, discussion boards. We're going to talk about each one of them. There are also going to be ongoing announcements. I will send you an announcement close to every day. I talk with you on this course orientation, which you'll look at. It's a good idea, by the way, to open the document as you're listening to this video, so you can read through it. But the discussion boards will be the main communication and interaction venue in the course, and they're going to be open for a particular period of time, meaning number of days, as is stipulated on the various documents. The discussion topics will be posted, and basically the information goes along with the external links and the textbook readings, which will be very specific. And there are very specific guidelines given on each document. Then this also talks to you about the fact that this is a completely online course, which means it's going to be writing intensive. There are no live chats because those created a lot of confusion, but we're going to have discussion boards, assignments, journals, final exam. There are vehicles at the college. If you feel that you need a writing tutor every semester, you have access to that information. Online courses tend to be very student-centered, and they're also more challenging in some ways than traditional courses because your involvement has to be very disciplined and very consistent and very proactive. You could expect to spend a minimum of about 20 hours a week dedicated to this course. It's very time intensive, and you have all of the information that I'll be getting to you about Blackboard, and you will know how to contact technology. Okay, we're up to the third document, which are the course requirements. Again, I have the textbook on there. I have some information about how you're going to be graded, but you will have separate grading documents. The course is divided into 5 segments. I've already said that. And this document, course requirements, has everything that is required for each segment. So for example, it has the dates for segment 1. It tells you what the content is. It then gives you the textbook readings, the specific external links, the topic to topic lectures that I've recorded. It tells you that discussion board A and discussion board 1 are required, and then you have also assignment number 1. It then goes on to explain about segment number 2 with, again, the textbook readings, the external links, if there are lectures on there for you to listen to, what the discussion board required for that segment is, and this one happens to have a journal entry. And it then goes on telling you the requirements for each segment. So it's very important to look carefully at this, because that will help you navigate through the course. The next part of this document is the textbook chapter questions. So again, it tells you what the chapter is about, and then gives you the summary questions that are also listed in the textbook at the end of the chapter. I apologize, I'm really having allergies in the beginning of this season. So it goes through the section 1 topic, the first topic, and it takes you through each chapter and what the summative questions are. You will not be necessarily tested on these questions, but some of the questions are going to be used for our discussion boards. So in this document, it just gives you the condensed version of all of the questions that are contained at the end of each of the chapters that we're going to be covering. And some of the chapters at the end we really won't go through, but I have the summary questions there anyway. Okay, the next document is the discussion board document. Now this document has, it tells you what all of the discussion board, in summary, topics are. They're also listed under discussion board, which is on the left of your Blackboard screen. And if you click on discussion board, all of the various discussions will come up. Just for you to know, they're always open, but they will close when the segment of the course is over. So you can contribute to any of the discussions. You can start the discussion even if we're not in that topic, if you like. If you want to lessen some of the work you have, you can start the discussion, but you will not be able to contribute to it after the topic closes. Okay, so we'll see how this works when we start the course, but that's the way that's how it's planned. So this document, the discussion board document, tells you that in order to receive full credit, you have to make 3 substantive postings, 1 original in response to the posted topic, and I will always have a starter post for that, and the other 2 in response to the discussion points made by other students. So your original response must contain references to the textbook chapters with page numbers and or small quotations or specific references to content in the external link. Okay, and the purpose of that is just so that I know that it's an original posting. There's no point in spending time, for one student spending time making an original posting and then for other students to use the same information. So I want you to go to the external links and go to the textbook. It tells me that you are actually using that information. And then this document gives you the rubric for the discussion board, and that's really the only thing that I have developed a rubric for this course because I feel it's the only necessary rubric. And that is because a lot of students with a discussion board, they'll only make one posting, or they will not respond to other students, or I don't have a word number, a minimum on here. But I do tell you that you will get 0 points if you've made no postings, 1 point, and I tell you in the rubric 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, and 5 points, and what the criteria are. So, and then on this document, I list each of the discussion boards, what they are, what the topic is, and again, this is just your master discussion board topic, but each one will be listed on Blackboard on the left under discussion board, the same way that the next document, and I'm looking at assignments now, all this tells you, it's the master assignment document, it tells you you have a minimum of 450 words for each one. And then it basically gives you the due date for each assignment, which is at the end of the topic. It's always going to be at 11:59. I think I programmed it. So these assignments also will be available throughout the course, however, not so after the due date. So in other words, they will only be available through the course, I should say, up until the due date. And it tells you what assignment 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are. Now you should know that assignment number 1 is basically, it's about resources, and I want you to find some resources in the form of external websites or free apps. And what I ask you to do, there's a discussion board. It says assignment number 1 discussion board. Once you start looking over the information, this will be very clear. And I would like you to just post in the name of the thread the names of the 2 things, because that's the assignment, to find 2 resources and describe them. It can be 2 websites, or an app and a website, or 2 apps. And they all have to be related to speech and language therapy in the school setting. Please don't use educational websites that are not related to speech therapy, and please do not use anything directly related to the ASHA website, because we're going to be using that a lot. Okay, and then it goes on and tells you what each of the 5 assignments are. The next document that I want to talk about are the journals. Now, there are 3 journals required, and there are due dates for each one. Each journal has an external link, and basically it's a lecture of me. And then there's a document that goes along with it, which is very clear. So if you go over to journals on the left side, it will be really a lot clearer than it's stated in this document. But this gives you an overview that I want you to print out something that's under course documents that's called a therapy session. And you're going to follow along with one of the 3 portions of this document for each of the journals. So basically, you listen to my lecture, you follow along with the part of the document that's connected, and then you're going to make your journal entry. And it's really programmed like an assignment, but I call it a journal because I want it to be reflective. I want reflective comments that you have to make, that you want to state after listening to the lectures. Okay? And last, we have probably what you're most interested in, the grading document. So this basically, it's just 1 page, and it gives you a total overview of the grading for the discussion boards. There are 2 discussion boards, by the way, that are 3 that are ungraded, and I really should have spoken about them a little earlier. One of them, and they'll be open throughout the entire course. One of them is Q&A, question and answer. It's ungraded, and this is the place, if you have questions or comments about anything related to the course, I would like you to post on here, because all of the students have access to it, as opposed to sending me a personal email, which only I will see, And rather than have 6 students email me with the same content, if it's related to the course and you're not clear about something, please post it on Q&A, okay? And everybody will have access to the question and the answer. It works out very well. Then I have something called the Cyber Cafe, and this is just something for you to use if you want to talk with the other students about things, if you want to make comments to them, because one of the downsides of an online course is you really don't have the face-to-face contact. So, and then the third ungraded discussion board is the assignment, actually it should say assignment number 1 website, and I will change it on there. And then the next 6 discussion boards are graded, and they're all worth 0 to 5 points, and each one is tied to a particular segment. The first one is an introductory discussion board. So I ask you 3 questions, and it's kind of fun, and I've already posted my answers to the questions. And then there's one discussion board that goes along with each of the 5 segments. Then, and as I said, those are worth 5 points each. Then there are assignments worth 6 points each. I have 5 assignments, 1 for each segment. And then there are 3 journals for each of 3 of the 5 segments, and they're worth 5 points each. And then there will be a final exam that's worth 25 points, which I will post early in the week when it's due, so at least a week before it's due. And there you have the distribution for final grades. I would like to say, are there any questions? But that is not going to work. But you know how to get to me with questions and ask them. And I wish you all good luck in this course, and I will see you online. Bye.